All right, witches and wizards, warlocks and such, magic folk. We are performing an entirely new spell that I wrote this morning, something that came from my meditation. The objective of this spell, the intent rather, is focused on manifestation through pure intent. That is, turning our thoughts into reality. The way this spell works is it powers up and uses each of the seven chakras, aligning them together, allowing that power to come into perfect harmony to guide and direct our thoughts and to give our thoughts power, more so than usual. Let's not forget that our thoughts are very powerful. Before performing this spell, we want to be sure that our thoughts and our intent are going to be right, they're going to be true, they're going to be for our highest purpose. We want to avoid any kind of negative thinking. We really want to avoid with this particular spell, because it is quite a powerful spell, thoughts of harm to others. Remember the rule of three. What we put out there comes back to us three times three times three. With any of my spells, particularly with manifestation spells or any kind of power-up spells, I like to include prosperity, giving, helpfulness to others. It sort of kind of helps to keep my own intent clear, keep me out of the selfish range. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but the selfish stuff usually comes back and bites me in the ass pretty hard. Anyways, so what we've got here is a mixture of herbs in a bowl that I've made, which I've added a couple of drops of legit fairy blood to. If you don't have access to fairy blood, you can't harvest fairy blood, you can do whatever you want, really. Usually I use dragon's blood, actual dragon's blood. Um, but what we're using is we're using 7 tea light candles here, each one of them from left to right, representing the chakras from bottom to top, and I've paired a stone with each one of them. Also, I have used, for the first time ever, my set of labradorite sacred geometry stones, also paired with each one of the chakras. I'm using here a piece of living wood. A living wood is basically logs that I've harvested that have had small living organisms in them at the time of harvest. And on our wood here, I've inscribed with red and black permanent marker my symbols. Real simple. Pentagon each end, and in the center, my power sigil. The very first sigil I was given, the most powerful sigil that I've been given. It works quite well. So let's go over our herbs. Okay, in this we have some crushed sage, some pink Himalayan sea salt. We've got patchouli, myrrh, mugwort, wormwood, and skullcap. That's what we're using for this spell today. I've taken an entire cinnamon stick and broken it up over this log, over which I'll also spread my herbs for the purpose of this spell. When I began the spell, I started to set my intent, with each step along the way, stating my intent internally and externally with power, with force. I spent about an hour now creating a good bed of coals for our fire here. We want to have a nice solid fire for this. We want to make sure that our log burns through pretty well. Last time I did a similar spell, something kind of cool happened. The log split while I was deep in an intrinsic state of meditation, laid out in front of the fire, and it tossed a coal about the size of a golf ball onto my stomach. I rolled over and the coal dropped onto my blanket, and I picked it up and tossed it into the fire. It was a really cool experience. You kind of had to be here to see it. Anyways, we're going to start this spell and set our intent and move through with it.